At 74, the wife of Bishop Noel Jones has finally spoken, and what she confirmed has sent shockwaves through the faith community. For decades, rumors, speculation, and whispers have surrounded their marriage, their ministry, and the private life of one of gospel's most influential leaders. Now, for the first time, the truth has emerged. Raw, unfiltered, and undeniably powerful. Insiders reveal that her revelations touch on decades of secrecy, personal struggles, and faith-tested resilience. What she disclosed not only reshapes the public's perception of Bishop Noel Jones, but also exposes truths that had been carefully guarded for years. You won't believe the moment she described, the challenges she faced, and the courage it took to finally speak out. This is the story of revelation, faith, and the breaking of silence. And what happens next will change everything you thought you knew. Bishop Noel Jones has long been regarded as a towering figure in gospel ministry, admired for his sermons, leadership, and spiritual influence. Yet, behind the pulpit and public appearances, whispers about his personal life and marriage have circulated for decades. Until now, these rumors remained just that, rumors. At 74, his wife has finally decided to break the silence, providing clarity on questions that have lingered for years. Sources close to the family suggest that her decision to speak out was not spontaneous. It came after years of reflection, prayer, and a desire to set the record straight. What she revealed goes far beyond simple confirmations. It touches on intimate aspects of marriage, ministry pressures, and the challenges of supporting a high-profile spiritual leader. In this video, we'll take you inside the story, exploring what she disclosed, why it matters, and how it could impact not only their family, but the broader faith community. You'll see the human side of ministry, the private struggles behind public life, and the resilience required to navigate decades of scrutiny and expectation. This is where it gets unbelievable. By the end of this video, you'll understand why her revelation is more than just a confirmation. It's a defining moment that reshapes the narrative around Bishop Noel Jones and his family. The first part of this story begins with the rumors and speculation that have swirled for decades and how they set the stage for this moment of truth. To fully understand the significance of Bishop Noel Jones's wife finally speaking out at 74, we need to step back and examine the rumors and speculation that have surrounded their marriage for decades. From the early days of his ministry to his rise as one of gospel music's most influential voices, questions about his private life have been constant, whispered in pews, discussed in online forums, and analyzed by fans and critics alike. Insiders revealed that much of the speculation centered around the challenges of balancing a demanding ministry with personal and family life. Leading a congregation, traveling extensively, and managing public appearances placed enormous pressure on their marriage. Friends close to the couple noted that while they appeared united in public, the realities behind closed doors were far more complex. Differences in opinion, the stress of leadership, and the scrutiny of being in the public eye contributed to tension over the years. Adding fuel to the rumors were moments that observers interpreted as unusual or telling. For instance, gaps between public appearances, selective media coverage, and the absence of the couple from certain high-profile events led to speculation. Social media amplified these moments, with fans and critics dissecting every photo, interview, and sermon for clues about their relationship. In today's digital age, even minor inconsistencies or perceived slights can spark wide-reaching discussion, something this couple experienced repeatedly over decades. Yet, while speculation ran rampant, very few insiders spoke out, and the couple rarely addressed the chatter publicly. This created a vacuum that allowed assumptions and stories to spread unchecked. Friends revealed that this silence was intentional. It was part of a long-held belief in privacy and protecting family integrity, even as curiosity and rumors persisted in the public sphere. What makes the wife's confirmation so remarkable is that it not only addresses these long-standing rumors, but does so with authority, clarity, and courage. She isn't just answering questions. She is reclaiming the narrative, shedding light on decades of secrecy, and finally setting the record straight about the realities of life with Bishop Noel Jones. And yet, revealing the truth was not just a matter of addressing rumors. It involved acknowledging the challenges, the personal sacrifices, and the resilience required to maintain both a marriage and a high-profile ministry over decades. The story becomes even more compelling when we explore what she confirmed and why it has the faith community talking. When Bishop Noel Jones's wife finally spoke at 74, insiders say the revelations were far more profound than anyone anticipated. For decades, fans, critics, and members of the faith community had speculated about the nature of their marriage, the challenges they faced, and the personal sacrifices required by life in the ministry. Now, for the first time, the full picture is emerging, and it's both eye-opening and deeply human. One of the most significant revelations centers on the emotional and personal sacrifices she made over the years. Sources reveal that supporting a high-profile spiritual leader is not just a matter of public appearances or social grace. It involves constant adaptability, patience, and resilience. She described years of balancing her own aspirations and identity with the demands of ministry, highlighting moments of loneliness, doubt, and quiet endurance. Many fans were surprised to learn the extent of her personal contributions, which went far beyond what the public typically sees. Another revelation touches on the pressures of public perception. As the spouse of one of gospel's most influential leaders, every decision, every word, and every gesture is scrutinized. She confirmed that living under this microscope created tension not just in her marriage, but in daily life, from how she managed family matters to how she engaged with congregants and the media. According to insiders, she faced criticism for decisions she made privately, and for years had to navigate judgments based on incomplete or inaccurate narratives. Her confirmation reveals the mental and emotional labor that went unnoticed by the broader public. Perhaps the most talked about revelations concerned specific challenges in the marriage itself. While she spoke with respect and admiration for Bishop Noel Jones, she did not shy away from acknowledging moments of conflict, misunderstanding, and adjustment. These were not sensationalized disputes, but the natural strains that come from decades of shared life combined with the intense demands of ministry and public scrutiny. She painted a picture of a partnership that required ongoing negotiation, mutual support, and a shared commitment to faith, a commitment that often meant placing the needs of others above their own. Insiders also reveal that she addressed long-standing rumors directly, confirming some while dispelling others. She clarified misconceptions about family dynamics, public appearances, and personal decisions, providing context that had been missing for years. Her explanations were deliberate and thoughtful, ensuring that her voice, rather than speculation, now shapes the narrative. What makes these revelations so compelling is the combination of candor and grace. She did not speak to provoke controversy or gain attention. She spoke to honor the truth, to shed light on decades of experience, and to offer a perspective that had been missing in public discourse. Fans note that her honesty adds depth to the story of Bishop Noel Jones's life and ministry, illustrating that behind every public figure are real, complex relationships that require dedication, compromise, and love. But these revelations also raise questions. How will they affect the perception of their marriage? How will the faith community respond? And what are the longer-term implications for their personal and spiritual legacy? The moment Bishop Noel Jones's wife spoke out at 74, the reaction was immediate and widespread. Social media exploded with commentary, discussion, and debate as fans and followers tried to process what had been confirmed and what had been clarified. For years, the public had relied on speculation, assumptions, and fragmented stories, but now the truth had been spoken, and it was sparking conversations across the faith community, entertainment media, and beyond. Social media platforms in particular became a hub for both admiration and analysis. Supporters praised her courage, highlighting the bravery it took to speak publicly after decades of privacy. Many shared posts applauding her honesty, expressing empathy for the personal sacrifices she had endured, and framing her revelations as an example of resilience and dignity in the face of scrutiny. Hashtags related to her confirmation began trending, with conversations emphasizing empowerment, faith, and the reality of life behind the pulpit. At the same time, skeptics and critics weighed in, questioning motives and interpreting her words in various ways. Some commentators speculated about timing, suggesting that her decision to speak out was influenced by external pressures or personal agendas. Others debated the implications for Bishop Noel Jones's public image and leadership, raising questions about how these revelations could reshape perceptions of his ministry. While some reactions were critical, most acknowledged that her disclosure provided clarity that had long been missing. Faith leaders and members of the gospel community also responded thoughtfully. Many expressed respect for her candor, recognizing the complexity of supporting a spouse with a high-profile ministry. In interviews and public statements, they emphasized that the experiences she shared were not unusual for leader spouses, highlighting the often overlooked emotional labor and personal sacrifices that come with ministry life. The reactions from leaders helped contextualize her revelations, illustrating that her story resonates with broader patterns in the lives of those supporting public figures in faith-based leadership. Additionally, insiders report that her revelation sparked private conversations within the church and ministry networks. Leaders and congregants alike reflected on the challenges of balancing public expectations with private life, and her candidness encouraged others to share their own experiences. In many ways, her disclosure served as a catalyst for dialogue about transparency, authenticity, and the unseen contributions that spouses make to sustaining ministry.